Hey friends, good morning. My name's Lisa if we haven't met, and today I am getting something checked off my to-do list for the pottery studio, and that is getting my kiln, my big kiln over here, vented and set up to fire again. So as you can see, my kiln, we had to take apart, we had to take the front controller off to get it into the basement when we moved, so I do want to get this hooked back up today. I want to reestablish my vent that's going to go up. Again, we're in a basement, so it's got to go up and out the side of the house, which means I get to cut a hole in my house. And I also want to get some hardy backer or cement board put up behind the kiln because I don't know, this plastic, this white covering that they put on the cement, I think will probably melt being close to the kiln, and just for another layer of safety, I want to get that put up. So in order to do that, I need to get some 2x4s mounted to the concrete wall, which means I get to learn how to use a ram set, which I've never done before, and I'm a bit intimidated. So I'm trying to debate on what I want to do first. I think I'm just going to, I don't know, bite the frog, eat the bullet, do the scariest thing first. What is it saying? Eat the frog? And that's going to be to drill the hole in my house to mount the vent. So this is what my kiln vent looks like. It's definitely an awkward thing to do, to set up, but it has a 4-inch, I think aluminum tube that goes through the house. And it's got a 3-inch port here, which you can see is actually kind of rusted and gross, but it's, this connects to basically it's a dryer tube like that. And then that connects to the bottom side of my kiln. I'll try to get some photo for you to see what that looks like. We're gonna need a really big ladder. In this corner on the outside of my house, there is the gas main and the water main. And so I have to go far enough back along the wall to avoid those things. Where I'm at is just above the foundation. And so there's a layer of insulation, and then it looks like they sprayed some foam on the OSB that's actually like the part of the exterior wall that I'll get to go through. Okay, so my husband helped me take down the TV, which is definitely smart. And I think I'm gonna do a little bit more planning just to make sure I don't run into any problems. It's gonna be really easy to run into problems anyway, so. I've laid out on this floor joist and kind of marked out exactly where I need to drill the hole, and I also just wanted to verify that it was going to be in the right place and I'd have enough room for the vent itself. The only way to kind of know for sure is to actually hold this up and see if it's going to go. And, oh, I can go, yeah, I can go much lower. I have a lot of play here, in fact. Pictures and things. Woo! Huh. I did it! Okay, but that's not the outside of the house. That's just in this beam. And it's gonna be very tricky how I'm gonna get a drill back there to go through. A little test. Oh, here's some tape on you. Getting the vent actually through this floor joist was probably the hardest part of the whole effort. At first I thought it was because there was extra tape on it from where I had it vented last, but I got all that off and then it still was too snug to get through, and there was just a lot of back and forth, a lot of adjustment, but this part was very frustrating. I had no idea this part of the adventure would be the worst. I'm glad I did this first, because if I was tired right now, if I was at the end of the day, I would probably cry. I hate you with such a passion right now. Okay. This is definitely, it's getting the best of me right now. And it's so dumb. It's so dumb because it's the right size hole. It's just a stupid bent tube thing has like this overlap in it. And it's not a lot, but it's just enough to make it not fit. So now I gotta figure out how to make the hole bigger, and sanding's not getting us there. So, okay, I sat for a second. I'm gonna try a 1/4 inch roundover bit in my little trim router just to like take some of that edge off and hopefully do it as cleanly as I can. In hindsight, I think I probably should have used a jigsaw. That might have been a little bit easier, but oh well. I will show you. It is not pretty. I hacked at it with that router, and because I didn't have a template or a guide or anything I could use in a super awkward spot, I just had to kind of like freehand it. It wasn't good, but literally nobody's gonna see this. It'll be completely hidden, and it got the job done. So I'm ready to move on to the next thing. Okay, so we're outside my house, and I didn't have a bit long enough to go all the way through from the inside to the outside, so I grabbed a screw, really long screw, and look what happened. But what are the flippin' odds that I would hit stupid little metal strapping? Okay, getting this hole in my house is legitimately way harder than I ever expected it to be, but I finally did it. I don't know, I think it's just because I'm not sure if this hole saw is really only meant for like drywall or something, but it just burned and fought me the whole way. But I did it! Did it! Okay, so I have another problem. Let me show you. So here's the end of the kiln vent, and you can see where the external piece is coming through. But it's not really coming through enough to be able to line them up. Oh my gosh. There's nothing on this project that has been easy. Okay, friends, I am stopping for today because this is just taking it out of me. I have been at this for 6 hours, but I did get through the house. I do have the vent in place. The external piece is there. The challenge I've run into now is that there's just like the tiniest bit of overlap, and I'm thinking if I go to the hardware store, I can maybe find like 4-inch coupler or something like that to kind of give it a better seal between the two pieces. And I'm tired, so that's where I'm gonna leave it for today. I'm gonna pick back up tomorrow and we're gonna get it done. Okay, I am fresh at it on the next day here, and I did go to the hardware store, and this coupler right here was just what I needed to kind of extend the outside pipe to the inside pipe so that I could get this whole thing mounted and connected. And next I'm just using dryer hose and these hose clamps with the screw in it to hold it up to the ceiling. Oh boy, I've never done this before, and I would be lying if I said I wasn't scared. I'm totally scared. But, all right, the girl panties. Bullet. Okay, ooh, I think we're loaded. I'm putting these little discs, little like plastic washers, because my goal right now is just to try to hold back the insulation. Oh God. Holy shit, I did, oh, it didn't go in all the way. Okay, I did it. But dang, it didn't hammer in that far. I know why they're not going all the way in. These are 3-inch. I don't need 3 inches. I only need like 1 inch, maybe. So I did intentionally do this kind of like right here and right here because the hardy backer that I'm gonna put up should cover that. So yes, they'll be sticking out. No, I'm not gonna do anything about it. This project has fought me every step of the way. I either don't have the right thing, I don't have the right tool, I'm up and down the stairs constantly, I'm up and down a ladder constantly. I've had to run to Home Depot once already. I had to run to Jack's once already. I've got to run back to Jack's now for these shorter fasteners. And I'm just, back from the hardware store, and I got 1.5 inch Helios now. And that should be just what I need. So I'm gonna try and do another one kind of in the same spot, because if I didn't get it right, it'll still be in a spot where it's gonna be covered up. Here we go. Eye protection. Eye protection. Ka-chow! Yes, it worked. Aha! Now for the 2x4s that I'm going to attach to the foundation, I am applying this moisture barrier tape just to protect the wood and getting them nice and plumb.
So small, watch the clock ticking off the wall, but tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my make mistakes. Feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town.
Before I kind of situate my kiln exactly where I want it, I'm going to get the panel put back on. I had to take this off for moving because we couldn't get it through the door into the basement. So I'm going to get that put back on, and then the reason being is that this cable is only so long, so it has to be able to reach to where my plug is, and I'm going to get going on that.
Lay my troubles to rest, blow the smoke through my cigarette. City lights looking fine, and I know this is my time now. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes.
Okay, I just checked my reference pictures, and we are all on track. So I'm going to make sure that each of these are seated. These cables go to the thermocouples, and I think this has monitoring the heat and controlling the kiln, letting it rise and cool at the right temperature. And there's 2 of them in this kiln, and each one has these, has a yellow cable and a red cable. And this is going to stretch and make it all the way up here. Fortunately, these are numbered, so it makes it pretty straightforward to connect in here. Okay. I feel good about that. Those are all seated. I have replaced the thermocouples in this kiln because they do burn out. This is a 20-year-old kiln, but it doesn't have a ton of mileage on it because I'm not a production potter by any stretch. So, and there's been many kind of years, like chunks of time that I haven't, just life and stuff I haven't been throwing, and then these black cables go to the actual heating elements, and I have 4 of them. Okay. Okay. They're all in there. You're looking connected and good. You're looking connected and good. Look at that. It did error, but that kind of makes sense because it was fully like taken apart, put back on. I hit the start stop and it is cycling through just like it used to. It says it's idling, it's not firing. And thermocouple 2 is reading at 88 degrees. And thermocouple, maybe it's just reading 2. Yeah, TC2, 88. So I think all this is really good. I need to get refamiliarized with my kiln and remember how to set it and to fire it and everything. Someday I would love to replace this controller with the more modern ones, but I think this is going to be just great. So turn it off. Very exciting. Very happy to have this area done. It has been on my to-do list forever. Well, for 2 years since we moved into this house, but it is finally coming along. Okay, friends, I am going to stop here for the weekend. I'm very happy with the progress. My kiln is all vented, it is all reconnected, and the big question is, knowing what I know now and how difficult this project was, would I do it again? And the answer is absolutely. I vent my kiln not because it affects the quality of the firing. I've done a lot of glaze testing in the past, and I can tell you, and I don't actually vent my little kiln when I do test glazes, and it does not affect how things turn out, but it does affect the fumes and the health and safety of my whole household. So I would absolutely do this again. It was well worth all the effort. If I was really blessed and had like a big studio and it had a separate kiln area, I probably wouldn't bother venting it as long as I could open a window or something like that and I wasn't going to be in there when it was firing. But because there's a bedroom above this, we live above the studio, I absolutely want to prevent those fumes from getting to us. I have a few more projects I need to do, but I cannot wait to get my hands back in clay, and having all of this done just makes me feel so much better. So follow along if you want to see what's coming next, and thank you for being here, and we'll talk to you soon.